Welcome to another robotics session. Alright, so welcome to another robotics session. So in my hand I have this is going to be the car that we're going to be used in the robotics competition. And of course all of the parts of the car are demonstrated, or all of the design and all of the different parts of the car is shown in the presentation. Alright, showing the competition presentation and also the PowerPoint presentation MW. And of course on top is the Arduino. That is the controller board that will be used to be storing the programs and sending the instructions to the motors, etc. In terms of when you want to program the robot, alright, so when you want to program the robot, so right here is where we'll put the USB cable. So we'll put the USB cable here. Alright, so we place the USB cable here, and then of course this other part here goes into the USB portion of your computer or laptop. Alright, so let's plug that other part. Alright, so again this part goes into the USB portion or the laptop. Alright, and of course you will hear that sound. So that tells you that now you have a physical connection. Alright, and of course power is established. So when power is established on the board, there's a few things that we will want to point out. Is that you will see it light up. Alright, and this is the power from the computer, USB. Now we're ready to download a program, and I'm going to show you how to download a program to the Arduino board. So now that we have this connected, what you want to do is to go to Tools, and when you go to Tools now, you will go to, after Tools, you will see Get Board Information and a few more things. I am looking for port. Alright, so I'm looking for port. Yes, so go Tools and I'll select port, and then I select the port. Alright, so I'll then select the port. Alright, excuse me. So I'll then select the port, and that's all on your computer. So Tools, then Port. Select the port, and when you have selected the port now, you can click on the download sign here, and then, alright, your download will begin. So if you hover over each of the items, you will see what the different icons mean. So the first one means verify. This one is to upload. This one is to start a new document. This one is to open an existing file, and this one is to save. Alright, so that's the concept. Alright, so we can then go ahead and download this to the robot. Before we download to the robot, there's an important point to note. Before we download to the robot, this point is very important. So right now you have batteries here and you have two power sources. So what you'll want to do is to disconnect this part. You don't have to worry, the black wire is ground and the red wire goes to 5 volts. So we'll disconnect this wire when we're going to be sending the program to the Arduino board. And this is to prevent any voltage, alright, confrontation, alright, or any combination of voltage from two different sources. So we want to prevent that. So when I've detached this now, I can then go ahead and download the code to the robot. Alright, so I've detached, can then go and download the code to the robot. So you can click on download now. And of course you will see this green thing going all the way to the end. Alright, and that's for that. So it's done uploading. So as was said before in previous lessons, the code that you're going to use, you type the code here. So in this example, it's just a simple example where we just want the robot to move forward, and we want it to move forward for a certain number of times. So we're going to allow it to move forward for 400 milliseconds, and then stops. So wait here means that it's going to stop. Alright, so this actually means that the robot will stop. Alright, so the robot stops. Alright, stops for a certain time. Alright, so it stops there. Alright, and that is the code that we've downloaded into Robot. So we now will detach the USB. So now here you will move the USB from here. So you detach. Alright, so you can go ahead and detach the USB. Alright, so like I've shown you, we're just going to detach. So I'm just going to turn it around so that it's easier. It's a little bit firm. Alright, and you hear that sound again. After that now, it's time to plug in. Remember, the black wire is ground, red wire 5 volts. Can't miss it. Black ground, red wire 5 volts. Alright, so and of course it's marked on it. You will see some markings. So you have some voltage markings there. Alright, so it's just a matter of looking. So I will go ahead and do that. So we have ground, let's place that here. Alright, so we're good to go if we place it here. Alright, so then of course we power the robot. Alright, and of course it moves for a short period of time. Alright, so 400 milliseconds. This is a short period of time. Alright, and of course here we can increase the time. So let's bring this to 4 seconds and then let's download another program to it. So let's just make that one change. Alright, USB connection established. I can go to tool again. I already said that the port is selected, so port is selected, so I'm okay there. Alright, so port is selected. I want to download the code. Remember, detach here. And when you detach there now, we're ready to upload the code. We made one change. So instead of 400 milliseconds, now it's 4,000 milliseconds, which is 4 seconds, okay? Alright, so let's upload the code now. Alright, so remember, code is being uploaded to here, and of course you can see what's happening on screen. Alright, so we want the robot to now move. So I'm gonna, of course, black wire, ground, red wire, 5 volts. Black wire, ground, red wire 5 volts, and there will be a technician, of course. Alright, just to ensure that you're making the connection properly. Alright, very, very important that you make this, that you do this connection properly. Alright, so it's nicely fitted into the board, and now we're ready to execute our program. So now it runs for 4 seconds. Alright, so let's show that again. So now it runs for 4 seconds. Alright, so that's the concept. So that is the example code that you will have, and of course this is only one instruction. So this is just forward, and of course you're gonna have to use your rulers. Alright, so you're gonna have to use your rulers, your protractors. So when you go forward for 4 seconds or 400 milliseconds, you need to know how far to go, that will take you, etc., etc. On the day of the competition, we will ensure that the batteries you have adequate batteries. Always have your batteries on constant charge, alright, because of the power requirements. Even though for the competition though, these will be powered by solar panels. But of course, we'll have our batteries there for proof of concept, especially in the programming challenge, since the solar panels will only be providing power, alright, power for the robot. Alright, so that's the concept. So in the example file here, alright, so let's go to here. In the example file, I have a set of 8 examples. Alright, so we have 8 examples. Alright, so under motion control. So example 1 is just the robot moving forward, and of course in each of the examples I would be adding more instruction between the two spaces that I wanted you to type. Alright, and of course, by the time you go down to 8, alright, so let's go to motion example 8, you would see another example as well. Alright, so the place that you're actually going to write the code, so you're going to just ignore all of that. So the place you're actually going to write the code is between these two lines. And of course here, we don't have the arms on this robot, but example 8 was just to allow the robot's arm to move up or down. Alright, so that's the concept. So we had one instruction, and that is the one instruction that the robot will do. Alright, so let's look through all the examples that we have here. Alright, so let's quickly look through all of them. Alright, so that's 8, example 8. Let's look at example 7 in motion example 7. So that was arm down to 4. Let's see which one this is. So we're looking, alright, at a specific part of the code. Alright, the area where you were told to type. So of course this is arm up. Alright, let's go to another part of the code, another example. Alright, and of course this is the gripper example, so one instruction problem. Alright, so in the next competition you may use these extra features, but just showing you how to actually allow one instruction to be called on the robot. Alright, so it's still very beneficial. Alright, so that's gripper out, so this one more than likely will be gripper in. So we are at example 5, so that's showing you what is in all the examples. And of course this is also in the package as well. Alright, so this is also in the package as well. That's gripper in. Alright, and of course this is the instruction. So this is where you will be typing the code in between these two alright statements. Alright, so example 4. So just having a look through all the examples just to show you, just to give you an idea of what's happening. Alright, so I'm interested to go one place only. Alright, and this is type code between the space provided. So this will allow robot to turn right. 520 milliseconds equal to a 90-degree turn. And of course, alright, and of course these are things that you will also be finding out as well. Of course it might be a little bit different due to the center of gravity in terms of if you have something else on the robot. So you turn right. This is the instruction to turn right. Alright, so let's go to 3. Alright, this is the instruction to turn left. That amount of milliseconds will be equal to a 90-degree turn left. Alright, and of course this is something that you can play around with, trial and error. But alright, so these are just given, so that makes life easier for you. So that's the instruction you need to have, alright, when you want to turn left. Alright, so these 3 instructions. Alright, so that's for that. So I am going to continue with the other 2 instructions as well. Alright, so motion control example 2. Alright, so this one is alright the instruction that we want to show. So type in between the space provided. So one instruction here, 2 instructions actually, just to reverse for 400 milliseconds. and based on using our rulers, we saw that that's approximately probably 22 centimeters, and of course you can use a ruler to verify that. And then of course the robot stops here. Alright, so wait here, it means it stops. Alright, and of course REV means that the robot reverse. Alright, so that's the concept. So in the entire programming scenario, the only thing that you'll be doing really is you'll be typing in forward exactly as you see it in the software. You'll be typing in backward, which is REV, reverse, and it's capital R, capital E, capital V, and you have your brackets just like this if you want it to work. And of course you have to allow it to move for a certain time, and also you will have your wait here command which stops the robot. Alright, so those are all of the individual instructions that you can get on the MW bot. Alright, so on the MW bot, the Michael Wayne Thompson bot. So on the MW bot, those are all the instructions that you can get. For this competition, we'll be using the 4 motion functions: forward, REV, which stands for reverse, turn left, turn right. Alright, so those are the 4, and of course you'll use that to navigate spaces, and of course the mathematics will come in. Alright, so thanks again for watching. Any questions, you can of course visit us at www.krwtronic.com, and of course we have a chat section. You can visit the chat. Alright, and you can talk to us, or you can WhatsApp us at 876-296-6305, or you can send us an email. Alright, so I'm the STEM robotics engineer, so you can send me an email, Wayne Thompson, alright, _43@hotmail.com as well. Alright, and of course all of those are in the other files and documents. So thanks again for watching, and have a great competition. Bye for now.